hope you all enjoyed that session with Dr. Stephen Hahn, here again with Andy to recap. So Andy, Dr. Hahn mentioned that they may approve a vaccine for a specific population, like the elderly or different ethnicities, or the general population, depending on the data that they receive. This would then impact the national vaccine program for prioritization and distribution. Seems like a pretty daunting task. Do you think that this approach is actually feasible in our current health system, or do we need to really reorient what we're doing?
Well, talk about a man on the hot seat, huh? He has really been in the firing line. And, look, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, my gratitude to the men and women of the FDA, 17,000 scientists. They are the best in the world at what they do. And when they are free to do their jobs, then we are going to be able to understand how to get the best medicines, the best therapies, the best vaccines, the best diagnostics to us most quickly. So I have a lot of confidence in them, and we should have a lot of confidence in them. And hopefully the interference that's been kind of marking Hahn's tenure will be a thing of the past. As it relates to vaccine distribution, it's a really interesting question. I was having this conversation with an ethicist yesterday, and one of the questions that we sort of assumed we take for granted is that you want to give the vaccine first to people who are the highest risk. And that's one way to do this, of course, but there's other approaches. You could give it to college kids because they are often the epicenter of the spread. And if you give it to college kids, maybe you reduce the spread most quickly. And of course, they may be lowest risk at taking the vaccine. So there's a number of different approaches. I think they need to be thought through. We're going to need a good electronic distribution system. The complexity of vaccine distribution shouldn't be taken for granted. I know we're all very impatient and we expect these things to happen very easily. And they will happen, but they will take a number of months, and I think we'll probably go through the following year. But I just want to, again, thank everybody for their work on making this happen in record time.
And I've been hearing a lot about there potentially being different vaccines for different groups of people and vaccines impacting different groups of people in different ways. How can we really get our heads wrapped around that and target different groups with different vaccines?
Well, we'll have to see what the data says. And the data say that we have vaccines that work particularly well for certain groups, or they are particularly well tolerated for certain groups, then that will help us. And as we have more and more vaccines, we may say, there's a vaccine that works best on people who are elderly. There may be a vaccine that may have a higher efficacy, and that may be most important for frontline healthcare workers. So the data will come in. We're going to have to keep watching that data. We're going to need to keep relying on scientists and the FDA and the CDC and the NIH to all play the role that they can play. And look, the more the better, right? The more choices we have, the more that's developed, better. It's still a complex process. We still have to do a lot of manufacturing. We still have to do a lot of distribution. But those are the things that will happen in the next stage.
Excellent. We actually have a session tomorrow all about following the data and the science, again with Amy Abernethy with the FDA. So hopefully we'll get more insights then.
Great. She's terrific.
She is terrific. So hopefully our audience is excited to watch that session. Appreciate your insights there, Andy. And we'll be back again with you to break down a couple other sessions. So tune in this afternoon for our matches, point, counterpoint, and announcement sessions. We have a little break here, so in the meantime, we hope that you would take advantage of our networking features on our platform and visit our sponsors in the exhibitor directory. We'll be back with Andy again, like I said, this afternoon for more keynote sessions. Enjoy.